In this video, we are going to be discussing whether you need video in your podcast or not. Let's roll credits. You're listening to the Big Vision Business Owners podcast. This is the podcast for business owners who have a message to share and want to have an impact on the world. I'm Chantel Dyson, your host of Big Vision Business Owners, as well as your podcast expert and online visibility coach. And each week I'll be discussing alongside you all of those things that go into being a big vision business owner, of being able to get that message out there, to build a community of people that hear that message and share those values, and actually then help you make change in the world, as well as growing your business. It's all about creating a true connection to your audience, building a community that surrounds your business and spreads your message for you. And it's about changing the way the world thinks, one podcast at a time. And with that, let's begin with today's episode. Hello and welcome. I am Chantel Dyson, aka the Clever Content Creator, and I help life coaches to get seen online in less time so that you get the time back in your business for doing some actual coaching. And in this video, we are looking at the concept of video for your podcast. Now, when people hear the word podcast, they automatically think audio, to the point that I've started to say video podcast, just to be absolutely clear. I'm at a point where I have to make it very clear when I work with people that we're only going to be creating a video podcast. And the reason for that is that from my experience, we're wasting your time and my time if we don't invest your time and energy into putting together a video podcast when you're recording the audio anyway. Now, as I say, traditionally people have thought of podcasts as audio only, and there has been a generation of people that have been able to enjoy the luxury of going, I can record a podcast anywhere. I can have my hair scraped back. I don't have to have done my makeup. I don't need to look prim and proper to get going. I can just get my microphone out, plug it in and start talking. And I'm afraid to tell you, I'm not really afraid to tell you, I'm going to tell you, the era of that is over. Because when it comes to being able to stand out online now, and the reason that you are going to produce a podcast is to help build your authority. And to build your authority most effectively, people have got to see who you are. Now, when it comes to making calls in your business, do you find that it's more effective to make a phone call, or is it more effective to have a Zoom call? How many of you have Zoom calls set up as a process, as part of the process for when people sign up to your program? Now, that's not for no reason at all. I think phone calls are much more valuable than any written format at all. But most of the time, it's really nice for people to see you, to see that actual connection, to see your physicality, to see who you are, what you're really like. Because yes, they can hear you on the phone, and they can imagine who you might be. They might have seen a little picture of you on a profile maybe, if they've followed you. But the beauty of the video, the Zoom call, is that people can see your facial expressions. They can see your energy. And you get to portray that, just like I portray that right now with the background I put up, with the clothes I'm wearing, with the facial expressions and energy that I bring to a video. So when we don't present a video podcast to people, and at least give them the option to listen to the video or watch the video, I think most people listen to the video, a strange concept, but what it means is that they've put it on YouTube, they're doing the washing up, and it's to the side. They kind of like look at it sometimes. I mean, some people genuinely put podcasts on their living room screens, which I think is wild, but we should remember that. The way that the industry is going, it's changing. TV's dead, and it's not because podcasts are any better. TV broadcast channels are dead because personal channels are in. Being able to subscribe to Netflix, for example, is one thing, but the individual channel, which is why YouTube is thriving right now, and it's been growing obviously since its inception, but my God, are we seeing it in terms of people being able to choose who they listen to, choose who they watch, choose who they decide they want to spend their time investing in. So without having that video element, you're denying your audience the experience of really getting to know you. And if you've been around for any length of time right now, you'll know that your audience need to know, like, and trust you before they're going to buy anything from you. And by taking away that visual experience, you're limiting people's opportunity to do that. Now, a lot of the reason that people tend towards the audio is because they're afraid of being on the camera, or they're afraid of the tech involved. Now, I created a video on what tech you need to get your podcast started. It's a very quick whistle-stop tour, but you can head to the description below to watch that video, and it will tell you all about the microphones, the video, and the software that's needed to support you with recording your episode. But it really isn't as bad as you think, and I'll touch on it now. This is currently being recorded on an iPhone 12 Pro Max. That's the video. Chances are there's not going to be a lot that I'm going to edit out. There was one thing that I just said that's now not in the edit, but it's been edited out because I changed my mind on what I wanted to say. So I've said it to myself out loud on camera. Don't say that bit, cut it out. It's gone. And we're going to do that through a little bit of editing. Now, the other thing is that people don't like to be on camera, and there is a little rise in this whole idea of being faceless, using faceless reels online. But again, how many times do you buy from someone that you don't know? Now, don't get me wrong. You're like, oh, but I always go to the shops and, I'm not really buying from someone. Yes, there's a cashier, but I don't know Superdrug. I don't know the CEO. I don't know the owner. Or when you're in a restaurant, I don't know the person that really owns this chain. No, but there are representatives, the cashiers and the servers of a restaurant or a shop are there representing that. And you also do know the brand. There's a lot about brand personality that's important. And for a lot of you as life coaches, you are the brand. So unless you're going to be very good at creating a brand personality, one that doesn't have a physical human face, but through copy, through writing, and through everything that you do is very strong, and chances are if you're a life coach, you weren't a copywriter necessarily in a previous life, that's just as much a skill to do anything. Whereas a video is something that you can pick up right now, and I guarantee that you can get good at even after you've done your very first video. And it is scary, right, to do your first. I've worked with a bunch of people that never wanted to be on camera but knew they had to. And in their first videos, they are breathing before they do it because they're thinking all kinds of things. Like, what are people going to think of me? What if I go wrong? People are going to think I look stupid doing this. And now, honestly, one of my clients the other day, it was a year ago we started working together. They're now off on their own doing it. They don't need me. I saw a video they were doing and it's recorded on a train. Now that's top tier recording yourself on a video. She's talking to camera on a train in public. So once we do things once, it becomes a bit easier. Taking that first step is the hardest thing to do. But if you're going to connect with your audience in the way that I know you want to connect with them because you want to change their lives, you want to have an impact on them. You want them to take action and you want them to, the right ones, to work with you, to trust you enough to part with their money. You're going to need to see them a bit. And the easiest way to do that without having eventually hundreds of one-to-one calls with people yourself is to present yourself first, to put yourself on that camera with ease. I used to do this with no camera. All that was different was that the phone wasn't there recording that and I didn't have to look there. I could kind of look at my notes more. Sometimes I take pauses to look at notes and I just cut them out of the edit. Like, I'm not completely wonderful at it. I'm better at it. I haven't used my notes too much in this one. The point is that you get better at it. The fact that there's hardly any difference between this and having one extra camera there seems silly. So you can either sit there spending all of that time planning your episode, recording it just on audio only, to then have no leverage with being able to use it on social media and repurpose it, to not have that piece that people are looking for actual connection and to get to know you. Or you can be a little bit brave today. Put yourself in front of a camera and start recording your podcast with a video that will actually get you seen online, that will actually get you attention, that will actually allow people to get to know you, build that personal brand as your life coaching brand, and elevate the status of what you are doing online. Now, if this is something that you know you need to do and work on, then what you can do is head to the link below and you can see if a strategy call is suitable for you to get booked in. Just a little reminder before I go, I'm Chantel Dyson, aka The Clever Content Creator. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification to keep up to date with all of my videos. And until next time, keep changing the way the world thinks, one podcast at a time.